This morning, it seems that markets globally, in defiance of any kind of US shutdown wobble. Let us bring into the conversation Paul Dobson, our executive editor for Asia Markets. And the moves seem to have been quite positive through the Asia session, perhaps driven by some of the technology news as well. Record stock rally extending then, Paul. What's to worry about? Nothing, it appears.
Hi there. Good morning, Anna. Well, the biggest worry is, are we in a bubble? And if we are in a bubble, what do you do about it? How do you trade it? So far, it's still that kind of bullish momentum seeping through markets and playing out particularly strongly in Asia today. But lots of enthusiasm for deals involving OpenAI with Korean companies like SK Hynix and Samsung, which saw the Kospi take a really big leap forwards. OpenAI itself has been selling some shares, giving it a valuation of, what is it, $500 billion, something, unspeakably huge. If you're selling equity, you're in a brilliant place at the moment, and the market is continuing to embrace it. So I guess it is that concern. OK, so can we carry on going up every day exponentially like we are at the moment? Or is there going to be some point where that momentum starts to fade and we run out of gas? And if so, how much support is there when we get a dip? Will there continue to be buying? So far, that's been the case, whether it's in Europe, record highs, US, record highs, Asia, getting there as well today. But, kind of, can it sustain all the way through? I guess that's the thing that people are continually asking themselves as we continue to press higher.
How are we feeling about JGBs this morning, Paul?
I think we're feeling pretty nervous about government bonds in general, Guy. The Japanese had an auction today of 10-year debt. Didn't go completely swimmingly. There was a big tail, which means that although, there was plentiful demand for the bonds, it sort of tailed off. It fell off pretty quickly, meaning that people weren't necessarily prepared to match the bid price in huge volumes. And that's something that we've been seeing resonating across government bond markets. Think about, yesterday, I think it was, we had a German sale that went technically uncovered. In the UK last week, they didn't all look very pristine in terms of people showing up for government bonds. You can understand why. When we're in this big bullish market for equities, or one of the havens, gold is also surging higher at the moment. Who wants those lower yielding government bonds? So today we've got auctions, I think, coming up for France, we've got Spain, we've got, the UK on the slate as well. So keep an eye on those demand metrics to see whether we get some more disturbing information coming through.
Does that all apply to U.S. Treasuries as well? Ultimately, is a government shutdown, a prolonged U.S. government shutdown, a positive or negative when it comes to Treasuries?
I think that is really the interesting point, Valerie. I've been puzzling over it myself. I think that, what we saw yesterday was a pretty good rally in US Treasuries. That was because the ADP numbers were surprisingly negative on the Labour front, so it makes people think that the Fed is going to be cutting interest rates again at the end of this month. That's positive for Treasuries, maybe, but it depends. The longer this shutdown goes on, the more it starts to kind of weigh on the economy, sort of like reduce that spending and dim people's sort of perception of the US as well. That could sour demand for Treasuries over time if it's not a circuit breaker to that shutdown.